Hey guys and girls, it's Joe Joseph here. It's thedailySheeple.com, and this is your news shot. And let's go to the LA Times. The TSA is quietly launching a new enhanced pat-down procedure. Yeah, if you want to get your freak on, it's quite simple. Go to an airport. They will give you all the action you need. That's right, go see a local TSA agent if you're looking for a good time. It says the Transportation Security Administration has quietly adopted new enhanced pat-down searches for screening passengers at U.S. airport, a response to weakness in airport security. Yeah. TSA on Thursday began using a universal pat-down procedure that includes enhanced security measures to replace several pat-down tactics used in the past by TSA screeners that are presumably less invasive. Now, the TSA is standardizing its physical search procedure rather than allowing screeners to choose among types of searches to reduce the chance of poor decision at crucial security checkpoints. The Universal Pat-Down, or UPD, lessens the cognitive burden for our officers and reduces the possibility for confusion with passengers and employees as well. Yeah, that's right, because, you can't leave it up to anybody to make any sort of logical decision. Cognitive burden. Let's see, squeeze the boobies here, feel the package here. Yeah, it's real hard. A lot of thinking involved, right? TSA officials declined to detail the new universal procedure or the previous pat-down tactics, but the industry's bracing for passenger unhappiness about more invasive searches. So question, if that's the case, then why aren't the airlines and the airports more up in arms and demanding that the government, ease off? Because they have to buy into they buy into the narrative. That's what it is. And it truly is a narrative, folks. Let's be real. A lot of people say, wow, how many terrorist attacks did them feeling my crotch 8 times? How much did that thwart? Yeah, a lot of people make that argument, but it's not a valid argument. It's quite the straw man argument, to be honest with you. And to prove it, I have some statistics to make the case. And this comes from 2012, and I love this article by allgov.com. Back in 2012, they wrote, more Americans killed by bees and wasps or falling televisions than by terrorists. Thank you very much. It says fear and emotion, often only tenuously tethered to reality, arises from the belief that danger is near, whether it's real or not, and can be created and manipulated by those in power. Remember, folks, the fear, that's all they need. You don't actually need terrorist attacks. You just need the fear of a terrorist attack all the time, and that's more than enough to be able to control the masses. It says, since the tragic attacks of September 11th, the U.S. government has stoked fears of terrorism, even as government statistics released demonstrate these fears are overblown. So in 2012, since 9/11, a total of 238 American citizens had died from terrorist attacks, or an average of 24 per year, although only 15 Americans died in 2010 and 17 in 2011, none of them in the United States, and almost all of them in Afghanistan or in Iraq, where the U.S. has basically been waging war for over a decade. Thus, out of 25,719 terrorism-related deaths worldwide in 2010 and 2011, America accounted for only 0.124%. This is consistent with the fact that the total number of attacks worldwide dropped in 2011 by nearly 12% from 2010 and nearly 29% from 2007. So to put these numbers into perspective, according to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, the average American is likely to be crushed to death by televisions or furniture as they are to be killed by a terrorist. In fact, between 2000 and 2010, 293 Americans died because of a television or a furniture piece or appliance fell on them. 55 more than died from terrorism between 2001 and 2011. Likewise, an average of more than 40 Americans are killed each year because of an allergic reaction to bee stings, wasps, and hornets. Instead, by far the biggest threat to Americans is really Americans themselves. According to the World Health Organization report, non-communicable diseases like cancer, lung disorders, diabetes, and heart disease cause 87% of deaths in America, compared with 64% in the rest of the world. Such diseases is primarily caused by smoking, poor diet, lack of physical activity, and alcohol abuse, which means that Americans are killing themselves at a far greater rate than any terrorists could ever desire. So what should we really be afraid of? That's the question. And the answer is quite simple. The powers that shouldn't be, the shadow government, our government, Monsanto, the vaccine industry, big pharma. I can go on and on. Anywhere where there is a financial interest or money to be made due to your lack of understanding of the issues. And I'm not talking about a lot of you listening to this video right now or watching this video because you know and are trying to make change within your sphere of influence out there. But most Americans don't, because they buy into the culture of convenience. It's too much work to have to go into all this kind of stuff. Why? If I do that, well, I can't go for a ride on my motorcycle over the weekend, or I can't go do this or go do that. I can't feel comfortable. Why? It doesn't affect me. And unfortunately, it does affect you. It's affected your wallet and the taxes that you pay. It's affected you in the freedoms that you've lost. It's affected your children and the fact that they're going to inherit an absolute mess because you fell asleep at the wheel when it was so important to stay awake and pay attention. All of that. And it's all because of the boogeyman. The same boogeyman that your parents told you, hey, the boogeyman doesn't exist, ain't real, yet we seem to not be able to get it through our thick skulls that the boogeyman isn't real. And the government and special interests will stop at nothing to capitalize on people's fear of the boogeyman. I'm Joe Joseph. This was thedailysheeple.com's News Shot. Feel free to comment below and visit our website at thedailysheeple.com. Have a great day, everybody.